NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Set 60 Pittsburgh.
I got you, punk.
Hey, Alpha. Snap.
They'll drop the throw. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down.
Chris Boswell on for the field goal.
And Boswell's kick is good. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
We spend so much time talking about the physical side of the game. How about the mental side? They just gave up a field goal, but they didn't get down at all. Big-time return. They're set up to try and at least tie the game up.
So good field position for the Rams as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Now a give left side to Falk. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill. See it. 59. Hayward, 59.
To throw on 3rd down. Warner. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Bell. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll look to throw. And incomplete, a disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over.
Ready. Man. Mike 58 right there. Yo, 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 yo. Yo. Ready, go.
They'll run on 1st down. Dickerson. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
On 2nd down now, Dickerson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the...
And a loose football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, tight.
Go.
58, boy, 58, Mike.
2nd and 11. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ward. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Back to throw here. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick 6 last year, remember it. But it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is, because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs. And they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
If you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
2nd and 13. His throw incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it's third down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Hey, high 7. Go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Rams take over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
39-yard line.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
On third down, Dickerson. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the third down play. And he'll give it here to his running back. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Warner. Now they go screen. It's complete. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. A good pickup, 17 yards, and also a Rams first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Warner to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Warner. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Kelsey, the intended receiver there. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Check 91. 91 is the Mike. Mike 91.
Leo. Check.
Now back to throw. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress as well as scores. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 33. A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Around the NFL, second quarter in Indianapolis. The Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. Touchdown, L.A. A big play there. with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Rams strike quickly here for 6 points. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hey, Delta.
Check 91. 91 is the Mike. Mike 91.
Hit it.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Set. 10-2 stop.
Here we go, D. All day. Defense all day. All day.
He'll look to throw. Hey, right on cue, they set up the screen and complete it. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 27. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find it.
Man, it's caught inside the 10. And now they are knocking on the door inside Pittsburgh's 10. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. The 20. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And thanks to the interception, the Rams offense cashes in for 6. point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
You can't block me.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop it. Defensively, 3rd down.
Incomplete. Derwin James on the coverage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, wahoo!
91 is the Mike. Mike 91. I hope he brought you.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
At their own 21-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Warner. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Warner. Going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now Warner. He's got his man on the crossing route. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. To throw, Warner. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. Now for the point after. This is why I could never make it as a quarterback at any level, especially the NFL. To have the poise to stay in that pocket, know you're going to take the hit, but still deliver it for a touchdown. Great play.
I have to agree with you on that one. When I see those hits coming, I'm wanting to exit the pocket. I'm getting the heck out of there. Instead, we just saw someone stay in there and make the throw downfield.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Bradshaw. And he's got his man on the out route. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
Tight end right. Tight end right. Everyone's got food.
To throw on 2nd down. Bradshaw. And the Rams got him. They bring him down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
He'll rifle this one deep right side, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
On 2nd down, Dickerson. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Steelers' 30.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you talk about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
About 3 yards there to the 27.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line. That's the end of the third quarter.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Kill.
They'll try the left side. Dickerson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Warner. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And their lead will swell up to 28. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. On 4th down, Bradshaw. Now this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Watch, twist.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On 2nd down now. Dickerson, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
It's caught by Jackson. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. The Rams on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on, 17. Slam.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Dickerson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 3rd down. Dickerson. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. And his kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job by their defense. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he will score. Touchdown, LA. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Throwing after the interception. Bradshaw, a screen to Bell. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
60 or. You must be hit.
On third down, Bradshaw. And that is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that?
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
On the set.
A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 3.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be intercepted. It's the all-pro safety, Derwin James. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for L.A., the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.